We have a special guest to introduce, and my honor is to welcome on stage Mr. Evgeni Angelov, who is advisor for economy development and innovation for the President of Republic of Bulgaria. And he will, share a couple of words and greet us for the President. So welcome, Mr. Evgeni Angelov.
Good morning also from me, and it's really impressive that on Saturday morning, after a Friday night, you have such a big turnout. I'm going to be very brief. There's lots of interesting people to hear from today. I just wanted to really congratulate the StartUP team and all their efforts in the past few years of putting this together. Every year it's bigger and better, the speakers are getting better, the crowd is getting bigger. Myself, but more importantly, the President is very committed on this topic. We do a lot of things to do with innovation, to do with startups, to do with entrepreneurship, with risk financing. There are not many in the public arena that like this idea much, but we're very committed to it. And particularly in the last 4 or 5 years since I've been involved, I think we've managed to start a few things. To help a few companies. If I can just tell you just three things from my experience in dealing with this topic on the public policy side, which sounds extremely boring even to me saying it, but it turns out to be very important. I got involved in government almost accidentally, and I knew very little about what the government does for innovation. But it turns out the government, in fact, has a very important role. And the important role is just to get out of the way. And this week, I had the pleasure to meet the founder of Rovio, Angry Birds, I'm sure you all know. And he spent 3 hours talking at a conference, and his main point was, what are all the things that government is doing to stop companies innovate and prosper? So this is the most important thing. What that means for government is really the business environment. It means inefficiency, red tape, bureaucracy, corruption, rule of law. We hear about these things a lot, and we hear about them because they're very important. So to me, this is the biggest thing the government should do, is deal with this issue. What the other thing government should do is to try to help improve the ecosystem, for a lack of a better word. So invest and fund the infrastructure where the private sector is unwilling to do so. Projects like Sofia Tech Park, which is still ongoing, when we sat down to think about what we should do, I think this was quite a revolutionary idea at the time. I still think it will be a very successful project once it's executed, but a lot of resistance. So I think, what we have in Bulgaria is a lot of fragmentation of resources, different policies. Before we put together this project, the idea was to give 2 or 3 million to 50 universities. I don't know how many universities we have now in Bulgaria, but to spend on things like new windows and doors and so forth. So the idea with Sofia Tech was really to bring it all together, spend a lot of money, but do it properly. So let's see how this experiment pans out. And the third thing, which I feel probably most strongly about, is that bureaucrats and governments, they should not make specific investment decisions. And this has been the case. You hear from a lot of speakers. We've also tried to do something in this direction. We helped set up the seed funds, which we'll talk to you a little bit later. We're thinking of new schemes where you in fact have a market mechanism for funding companies. Unfortunately, this is now going a little bit in the other direction. And there is no worse direct investor than government. But we'll talk about that maybe a little bit later in the panel. I just wanted to wish everybody a successful conference. You can rely on the support of the institution, presidency, all of the team of the president and so on, to help you in these initiatives. Good luck and enjoy the weekend.